Hi, we're Rob and Kathy. Join us in our travels in Australia and beyond. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our Blue Mountains experience. We had a very nice night in our B&B. Today we're taking on Scenic World in Katoomba, which will involve cable cars, steep descent trains and a bit of a bushwalk, weather pending. Still not looking too good at the moment. Scenic World is a family-owned tourist attraction located in Katoomba, about 100 kilometres west of Sydney. Scenic World is the most visited tourist attraction in Australia, welcoming over 1 million visitors each year. They operate the steepest passenger railway in the world and the steepest and largest aerial cable car in the Southern Hemisphere, and has the largest boardwalk in Australia. And we arrived at Scenic World, and as you can see, the weather still not that good. The pricing at Scenic World is quite reasonable. We went for the $64 Unlimited Discovery Pass, which provides for as many rides as you want throughout the day. There are 4 main attractions: the Skyway, the Scenic Railway, the Walkway and the Cableway. We decided to go for the Scenic Railway first up. The Scenic Railway is the steepest passenger railway in the world, taking visitors down a 52-degree incline into the Jameson Valley. The railway was built in 1878 as a coal and shale tramway, but by the 1900s the venture went into liquidation as it became less profitable. From the 1920s to the 40s, miners began allowing hikers to ride the coal skips up and down the cliff for sixpence. This proved so popular that they built a 12-seater passenger carriage for weekends. 1945, and local transport operator Harry Hammond bought the lease for the railway and transformed it into a tourist attraction. Today, the modern rail carriages can carry up to 84 passengers at 4 metres per second. We waited for the next train to arrive, and it's never too long, about a 10-minute turnaround on all rides. We squeezed in, felt a bit like we should be wearing a seatbelt. Doors closed. And we were off. At 4 metres per second. Takes about a minute and a half to get down to the bottom.
Yeah, welcome into the beautiful Jameson Valley. When the ride stops, you'll exit through the left, head up the stairs, over the bridge and follow straight.
The next train departed. And we were left down at the bottom of the very scenic Jameson Valley. More on this when we look at the boardwalk. But for now, we'll return to the top. Next we were on the Skyway. The Scenic Skyway is a cable car suspended 270 metres above the Jameson Valley and offers panoramic views of Katoomba Falls and the Three Sisters. The Skyway opened in 1958 and was Australia's first cable car. From 1958 to 2004, the first generation cabin carried over 7 million passengers. In 2017, the current gondola was introduced, which can carry up to 84 passengers. And we set off across the Jameson Valley. First point of interest was Orphan Rock. Orphan Rock was originally used as a lookout point to see the Three Sisters. However, it's become too dangerous to visit today. The Katoomba Falls were spectacular even in the mist. The Three Sisters were absolutely invisible. And then we arrived on the other side of the valley, stayed on board and came back. Back at base camp, and we decided to take on the Scenic Cableway. The Scenic Cableway is the steepest cable car in the Southern Hemisphere, offering a smooth, fully enclosed ride to and from the valley floor. The ride takes about 5 minutes to complete and departs from both the top and the bottom stations every 10 minutes. The cableway opened in 2000 and the present fully enclosed car began operations in 2018. And we descended into the mists. And now that we're down at the bottom of the valley, let's take a look at the Scenic Walkway. One of the first things you see is the original Scenic Railway carriages. They would have been terrifying. And next we saw one of the ventilation shafts for the mines, which reminded us of the origins of the whole area. The Scenic Walkway is a 2.4 kilometre elevated boardwalk that winds through an ancient, temperate Jurassic rainforest. You can still see some of the remnants of the coal mining days. Here's one of the old buckets used to haul the coal up out of the valley. The first thing that strikes you about the walkway is the massive amount of work that's gone into making it. Next we came across the rainforest room, which is a great place to sit, contemplate and take in the rainforest. I'm sure it'd be a wonderful place for a wedding. You just have to convince the guests to go there. And we were able to reflect on the rainforest. You almost expect to see a Tyrannosaurus, or at least a couple of velociraptors. It is majestic. We completed our rainforest experience and we returned to Skyway station for our trip back up to the top. Back at the top, we were determined to see the iconic Three Sisters. So we caught the Skyway across the Jameson Valley and took on a 1.5 kilometre walk to Echo Point to view the Three Sisters. The weather hadn't improved much, and along the way we met this fellow who didn't seem at all bothered. And then we were there. The Three Sisters. Isn't that an epic view? But wait, we did get to see one of the sisters. I'm not sure which one, the middle one I think. And in case you don't know what they look like, here are the Three Sisters in all their majesty. I hope that you've enjoyed watching our trip to Scenic World in the Blue Mountains. When you do venture to the mountains, you have to take the weather as it comes and enjoy yourself anyway. It's all part of the heritage beauty. Thanks for watching. You could like this video and possibly subscribe to the channel.